Hello, me again. I'm the guy on the podcast you remember, probably forget. It's fine. Moving on, a couple housekeeping items. First, I pronounce Gallatin National Forest as Galveston, but it's Gallatin, as I previously stated. Um, and there's some talk about still so hard to say. Kootenai. There's some talk about there's some talk about Kootenai National Forest. That's what we're talking about, and that's how you say it. But it's spelled weird to me. It's probably spelled really normally to other people, but to me, it's difficult. Also the mission trip I referenced. I think I was like 15, so don't hold it against me. Also, we ran into an audio issue where my mic started recording for like a couple minutes, so there's like this kind of abrupt cut. You didn't miss much. It like wasn't worth like 45 minutes of editing it would take to make it work in there. So I just cut it, and we just move on with the podcast. So speaking of moving on, let's do it. Enjoy. Bye. Thanks for watching. Oh my gosh, thanks for listening. We are rolling. Nice.
Love it. Favorite noise of Sunday?
Favorite noise of Sunday, exactly. Well, it is another Sunday today. It is Sunday, the March 26th, 2:16 p.m. Pacific time. We are in early.
Ooh, what you sipping today?
Some kind of tea. I have this small stockpile of teas that I took from a shoot that aren't really labeled. And I'm low on tea, so I just grabbed one of those that said decaf, because Lord knows I'd be bouncing off the walls all night if I had a cup of coffee, or caffeinated tea, rather, now. And I'm not trying to live that life.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, hello. Yeah. So,
No.
Hi. You're so close to the screen.
I know. I'm in a new setup, as you can see, at a different location, so getting used to it.
Are you snacking?
I needed something real quick.
I love it. What are you munching on, bud?
A pocket latte.
Oh, a pocket latte? That looks delicious. Is it caffeinated?
Yes.
Are they the best?
I like them. It's chocolate caffeine. How many milligrams do we got in here? You talk about not being caffeinated. I am trying to ingest 120 milligrams of caffeine.
Decent.
Yeah.
Good to have.
It's good.
Nice. Well, welcome everyone to our first bonus episode of the season. Maybe it's our second episode, who knows, but it's our first. Today we're just going to do a little reflection, and I'm going to talk about my own personal migration, and because Lord knows it's been a journey. But yeah, so I guess at this point, we have 2 episodes out on the web, and a third one on the way.
Yeah, lots of positive feedback. Thank you to everybody who's
Yeah.
been tuning in on Wednesdays to hear us talk about deer, geese, and everything in between.
Yeah, there's a lot between deer and geese, because deer are on the ground and geese are in the sky. So, lots of bugs, probably.
Yeah.
Although we haven't done any bugs yet.
Not yet. That one's coming out later in the season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did do a bug one.
We did do a bug one. We got to keep it interesting for the people.
Oh my God, we can't just be mammal, ungulate. We gotta, it's like a stir fry. You really need a good variety, some meats and vegetables.
Our 6-legged friends need just as much attention.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten to arachnids yet.
Oh, I can't wait for those type.
Millipedes.
Are you You afraid of spiders?
Um, I think I've got a healthy fear of spiders.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance I got bit by a spider in my sleep in Vermont, and that led, or I just got a weird infection.
Okay.
But it just didn't really make any sense because it happened literally overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like that. So my policy on like spiders in my room these days is like nada. We just we
Do you squish them or do you just toss them out the door?
I feel like they would just come back in.
Mm-hmm. They'll have a vendetta.
Yeah, like in the winter too. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, it's just gonna go out and die anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
I make it swift. I'm not against spider relocation though, for sure. Maybe I ought to take a look at my heart and soul, what I'm doing with these spiders.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? Are you a relocator?
I try to be. I think the
Yeah.
only time I don't is when I'm in the shower and that one that's in the corner starts running across the shower floor. I kind of go, you know what? You need to take a swim real quick.
Yeah. Maybe you'll have a great life in the drain.
Yeah, because you scared me. So
Because you scared me, so now you must die.
Yeah.
Remind me never to startle you.
Yeah, so there's consequences to your actions.
Oh my gosh, is that a threat?
No, just our spiders.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, hold on, my mic's all janky.
So
One
yeah,
day,
well-
what?
Oh no, so yeah, so
I was gonna say one day we're both gonna have like awesome podcasting setups.
I can't wait.
Today is not that day,
No,
but it's getting the job done.
Yeah, we're still recording. I'm
Still
having
recording.
fun.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
that's all that matters.
Yeah. So Tom, you've traveled a lot. From what I've gained as your friend and in conversation, you've been all over the place.
Yeah. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Iowa. I wish I could remember all the lyrics of the Johnny Cash song. Like if I had that queued up
Mm-hmm.
and I just sang the whole thing, and then we
Isn't-
ended the episode, would have been way better than whatever
would have been.
we're
It's
gonna do.
Honestly, an underrated Johnny Cash song. I feel like people
Yeah.
don't know that one as much.
Really? I mean,
feel
I
like
thought I thought it's a classic.
I mean, which one of his songs isn't a classic?
God bless.
But I was like, everyone says Folsom Prison, Ring of Fire, all that. But
I mean, they slap.
They do, but where's the I've Been Everywhere, man?
Yeah, I feel like it's in a different category of like, because I feel like that was a later hit, but it's a
Mhm.
hit. Like it's a classic in my book. I guess
Mhm.
maybe I'm a little out of touch. Probably, definitely a little out of touch. But yeah. So I guess the Wanderlust really got going. Like 2016, 2017. I think, and I really have to credit like Planet Earth for getting the goose going.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was just blown away. Planet Earth 2 really blew me away, and I was like, ooh, I should probably go explore the forest. And I wasn't much of a forest explorer then. It was getting into camping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That and like honestly, like Instagram, I feel like there was a big wave, of like National Geographic photographers and stuff and climbers really getting such an effective platform to communicate. So it kind of became such like a classic wanderlust of like, oh my gosh, I need to go to Yosemite. I need to see Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I took that first road trip in 2017 and kind of like went in a northern route through the Midwest and then headed through Colorado. And then I dabbled in Oregon for like a few days. The one thing, I can't believe like how much driving I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be like 12 hours. Okay.
One day, or do you just do it
One
all
day,
in
like I would do these long drives. Now I'm like, I try not to make myself do more than 4 hours. Like, of course I'll do 6-7 hour days, but like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, take it slow.
Yeah.
Slow. Yeah, that got me. I remember being so tired and being like, "Am I even having fun?" But hey, you live, you learn.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Yosemite, of course, that trip got cut kind of short because I got bit by a rattlesnake.
It's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, it was a major bummer. It was pretty crazy, and yeah, it was really a tough situation. Being like 4 miles in on a trail, getting bit by a rattlesnake, and not having any medical training or real knowledge of snakes. So that was a very scary moment. Not not like because at that frame like I was like, oh, am I gonna die? Like I don't know the difference between a hemotoxin and a neurotoxin at that point. And I was like,
Which one do rattlesnakes end up having?
Hemotoxins,
Hemotoxins.
which is good.
That's
Neurotoxins are so scary.
That's the one like the what's the one I'm thinking? The blue ringed octopus down in Australia has, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna look that. I didn't know any octopus. Is it octopuses?
Octopuses, octopi. I've heard it so many different ways, and everyone likes to correct everyone else.
Yeah, venomous species found. Let's find out what kind of containing neurotoxin. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Those ones they're so scary because they just shut down your they can shut down your nerve system, stroke you out, do all kinds of things.
Yeah, but the one you had just kind of made your blood bad.
Yeah, I mean it was really gnarly and took months to really recover. My leg got so big. But maybe we'll save the full rattlesnake story for another episode.
I think snake episode.
I think it deserves its own episode. So I don't want to go. I don't want to show any pictures right now or get too far into it. So the trip got cut short. I think I was going to go to Montana next, and instead I got airlifted to Reno, Nevada, and I made some friends out there, which is cool.
That's nice.
Certainly influenced my migration. Now, here in Tahoe, originally I was like, oh, I think I'll move to Reno, but just ended up wanting to stay in the mountains. Yeah. Reno is cool too. It's a nice town. Sometimes I wish I was there so I could like meet people and be around culture and stuff.
That's fair.
Tahoe can be I'm kind of in the sticks here. Again. But it is really fun, and it's nice being immersed in these mountains.
So when this was with this first road trip, you were just flying solo and just
I was with my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, okay.
Except she had to go back to work in Wisconsin by the time I was going to Portland. So we did Wisconsin to Colorado together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What parts of Colorado did you see?
So that trip we did. Went into Denver and then Fort Collins, and then we went backpacking in Golden.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, all really lovely places.
Yeah, since then I've gone back and had a nice time. Colorado's so fun. Those are cool mountains. So then I went back home for a while. Got a straight job in southern New Jersey for a bit. And then I quit that because I'm like, I hate sitting in offices. And I just kind of did not like that job specifically. So I quit, and I was like, all right, let's do a van thing, which had been on, kind of cooking on my mind for a while. And then a pandemic hit. And so I didn't really. So at that point, I'm like, oh, I gotta go get another apartment because I had just been like, not subleasing, but just doing like low key rentals from people, not landlords. So then that kept me in Philadelphia for a good solid year, and that was interesting. I like Philadelphia. Pandemic time in Philadelphia was crazy.
I imagine being in a big city was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was tough. Because, I mean, the benefit of being in a city is the social aspect and the cultural aspect. Those are the two major benefits in my book, especially Philadelphia, where all the homies are. But, yeah, not being able to see them and there being very little cultural occasions city was a little tough.
Yeah.
At least the climbing gym opened eventually, which I lived right next to, and that was good.
Nice.
Climbing gyms keep my brain good.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I went to the climbing gym yesterday and left my wallet there. So now I got to go back again today.
Oh, you got to go back to a climbing gym? The rough life you're living.
Yeah, life is suffering.
Yeah. No, I haven't been to a climbing gym in a while. I used to go. There's one here at the university.
Right.
that, if you're a student, you get to go for free.
Nice.
So that's always fun, but
I like it. It's a good place to hang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Literally.
Oh, that's a good point. The climbing gym I go to now has a sauna.
Ooh.
That's one thing I'll really miss about Tahoe is the sauna.
I'm a big sauna fan.
Yeah. And yeah, it's so fun. I always have like great conversations, meet cool people in there. And when you get someone who can really chat, then you can really go into the sauna for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yesterday, I think, I usually try and do three individual sauna sessions and then do cold showers in between.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday I met this wilderness firefighter and just was like, we had a great conversation. I think like I was in there for like 20 minutes straight and anyway, I got a bellyache. That's what happens when I'm in a sauna too long. I get bellyaches. This morning I woke up with a bellyache. I was like, oh no. But then I fell back asleep and it went away.
That's perfect. Just sleep it off.
Just sleep it off. Sleep off your bellyaches.
Mm-hmm. So Philly during COVID's not the most fun to be.
No. So then I was like back to like, oh, well, could do the van thing. And then our good buddy Nate was like, hey, I met this person and she's going to work at this camp and I'm going to do wilderness guiding. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Have fun. And then eventually I was like, oh, are they hiring? And boy, were they.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, they were.
And then, so instead of doing the van thing, I decided to like push that and then come to Camp Thunderbird.
Mm-hmm.
And I met you there.
Yeah. It's a great time.
Had a great time. Yeah, Camp Thunderbird is a strange place. It's got its ups and downs.
It is. No, I think overall, I do like Camp Thunderbird a lot.
That's good.
And I think it's introduced me to so many people. It's like,
that's true.
Tom over here.
Right.
We're so happy to see you.
So happy to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got woofed together.
Mm-hmm.
God bless.
God bless Logan.
God bless Logan. Maybe me and Nick can get recertified together.
That would be good. I do need to. That's starting to come up.
Yeah, I think like in June or something. Yeah, it's up.
Yeah, but no. Well, I know. So you at Thunderbird got to do what's called the Big Trip.
The Big Trip.
That's what it's called. You had a really unique experience with the Big Trip because you had like no campers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that summer I was also a wilderness guide, but I was doing just smaller trips around Minnesota.
Yeah.
So the Big Trip, did you get us so was that trip, did that kind of show you a lot of places you'd never been before? Or
yeah,
had you kind of
especially
been those spots?
Wyoming, Montana. I think that was mostly unexplored. I guess back in my church-going days, I did go on a mission trip to Montana, which in hindsight was really kind of like this whole, it was like, now it feels more like this like problematic, weird Band-Aid because we were like there, quote unquote, helping a native tribe. Yeah, which, how much? I don't think we're really helping so much, Yeah. Weird times in hindsight.
Yeah, looking back on some of those things, it's always like, and I see people a lot going on mission trips and stuff, and I'm like, they feel weird to look at anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, especially with like what seems like a more understanding of capitalism and colonialism, that like these problems are actually solvable. And we're probably just doing this to feel good about ourselves in the world.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like First Nations peoples up there and tribes, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember like our group was like kind of criticizing some people for being standoffish and not appreciating us. Just like, yikes, with no understanding of the situation or the context there at the time.
Yeah, it is hard when you're a kid like that doing a trip. And
for sure. Certainly don't blame myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, the
Anyways.
Thunderbird big trip.
So yeah, that was pretty fun. We had three little rascals,
Mm-hmm.
and they were delightful little rascals, and they certainly got rascally, but we had a great time. And there we went to North Dakota, and then through to Wyoming. We did the Bighorns. I really like the Bighorns. Very nice place. Have you been there?
I think once when I was very little, but I've seen plenty of them in classes, and they're talked about a lot when with my environmental degree.
Nice. Well, yeah, it's just right around the corner from you too, right? Like 4 hours away.
Yeah, it's a couple hours from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything's a couple hours from here in Wyoming.
That's a perfect way of putting it, honestly.
Yeah, that place rocks. We saw a lot of moose, which was cool. Heard a lot of elk. There was one night where this elk herd passed very close to our camp. We couldn't see them, but they were bugling for like all night.
That's so magical.
Yeah, I'll edit in some sounds, and that's where like the sound of the Deer Enthusiast logo is from. It's from that elk herd.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, had a great time there. I remember it was really hard to hang a bear bag, and we definitely almost got very hurt in our process of we would tie a bag of rocks to the end of a rope.
Mm-hmm.
We just could not get it because there was just like very thin branches and they were mostly dead. At one point we got it stuck, and we kept pulling on it.
Yeah.
That was like, whoa, gotta watch out.
Mm.
Yeah, but the Bighorns rock. Then where did we go from there? Then I think we went into Montana and went into Galveston.
Okay.
That was really nice. We only did one night there, but we had a very fun time. And saw a black bear in Galveston.
Ooh.
Not till after, though. It was on our way out. Ran across the road. I thought it was a big dog at first. I was like,
was that the first bear you had ever seen?
No, the first bear I saw was in Shenandoah National Park. There's a ton of black bears there. Like, you can't go without seeing black bears. So I forget if it was a total of 2 or 3. First, we saw one hiking in near our campsite. There's just a bear hanging out. And then on our way out, there was one, like, super close. But
okay.
they're, like, it's like one of those things, like, they're very human habituated. But luckily, it's not in a way where they kill people. Except there was an incident right before we went there where a bear tried to get in someone's tent. But they didn't say whether or not that if they were practicing proper sleeping procedures, which is really important there. But yeah, so that was the first bear encounter. I think, yeah. Then I've had one in Vermont, a ton in California now. There's so many black bears in Tahoe. So yeah. Montana, where'd we go after that? Then I think we made our way to Idaho, to the Sawtooths, which are really lovely. Oh, well, I guess before the Sawtooths, actually. Was it before or after? We went into, it was Bonner's Ferry, which is northern Idaho, northwest Idaho. I think it had to be before Sawtooths for sure. Let me look. Bonner's Ferry National Forest. The Canascoo? Is that how you say that? Oh no, it was the Kootenai National Wild Refuge. But that was a really lovely area. So we went up there to do a week of trail maintenance. That was pretty fun because they just like dropped us off at this little alpine lake situation. And we were like, okay, have fun. And we let the boys go get all their anger out with Pulaski's. And we all got our anger out, I suppose. It was fun.
That's good.
And just did a lot of swimming. Worst mosquitoes ever, though.
Yeah.
So bad. And I think I forgot my face mosquito net, so I was like, they would come out mostly at night, so I just had to like make sure I like ate dinner by 4:00. It was like in my tent for I guess at dusk is when they would really come out.
Yeah.
Morning and dusk. I think it was mostly flies though in the morning, but I remember there were times maybe I did have a fate. I forget whether I did remember my bug net, but I remember there were points where there would be like 20 mosquitoes on my leg, and I was wearing like leggings, and they just like squish them all.
Ugh, yeah. It's a great feeling when you get them off you, but then when you just see like your hand covered in blood and guts from bugs and yourself, you're like,
yikes!
What a time!
What a time! Yeah. That was such a funny trip. Some highlights where I brought an iPad with me, and we watched the Star Wars trilogy in the backcountry throughout the trip. That was funny.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. When we were doing that same year, was it that year? It was that year. We were in the backcountry for a little bit, and we had a day, or about a day and a half day in civilization again. We had just gotten out of a 10-day, and my campers were they really wanted to watch something. They were just like, man, we're tired. We've been reading. We've been playing cards for 10 days straight.
How much euchre can we really play?
Exactly. They're like, I know exactly what you're going to do every time. So we need to do something else. And so I said, all right, we'll watch a movie. How's a movie sound, guys?
How's a movie?
And they're like, oh, sounds awesome. I'm like, great. Space Jam: A New Legacy just came out. We're going to sit down. So you were showing them classics. I was showing them LeBron James talking to Bugs Bunny. So
that's funny though. But LeBron James, for some reason, was like really important on our trip.
Really?
Yeah, we came up with this song. It was like, LeBron James died for our sins. We've made a whole song about LeBron James.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was so funny. And,
if any of you have never been to summer camp before, that's pretty much the experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's just madness, pure madness, and as many silly jokes to get through it all. But fun, definitely fun. Another thing we did, we came up with like a lot of Star Wars fan fiction on the trails.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was so much better than the sequels.
Wait, are you all right? Which one is worse? Now that we're talking Star Wars, I'm a big Star Wars guy myself. Are sequels worse than the prequels?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because like the prequels are just like, okay, like they don't make a ton of sense, but they make enough sense, and like there's a lot of redeemable parts. Like I feel like the sequels are offensively bad in their writing, like
yes,
offensively bad. Like
I hate sand. Just plays in my head.
Prequels, I mean, those are offensively bad. See, I guess I probably saw them at the right time because like I remember being like 6 and my parents didn't let me go see Phantom Menace in theaters. And I was bummed about that.
Yeah.
And so, like then we got it for Easter on VHS. And I just watched it over and over and over.
See, I did too. I mean, that was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw. Loved it.
Yeah. So like the dialogue, there's so much bad dialogue in every single movie. Like, gosh, I was watching Attack of the Clones a few months ago, and
That's
when
the worst
Anakin
one.
comes in and is like talking to Padme, and it's just like,
But it's not even his dialogue. I think Natalie Portman's a good actress in her own right. But when he's like, yeah, I just murdered a bunch of women and children and slaughtered them, and she's just sitting there going, yep.
She's like, Daddy.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, we don't talk about like Padme's own shortcomings, not seeing the signs of that anger. But, I mean, it really says a lot about what happens when we're all, going off path. And yeah, I mean, I suppose it was the will of the Force at some level.
That's true.
But
those darn
in hindsight,
midichlorians.
those darn midichlorians. Yeah, but like the sequels were like they got so personal, but like it just also so bad.
Especially that last one. My
Yeah.
God. Honestly, after watching that last one, I have hit a Star Wars fatigue
Yeah.
where I'm not watching any of the new stuff. Not because I'm
Yeah.
like against it or I'm like I can't watch the
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi show because
Yeah.
the movie's bad. I'm just like I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. I you know, it wasn't specifically that movie that exhausted me.
Mm-hmm.
Um it, like that movie came out at a good time where I was just quitting that job in New Jersey, which had like gotten me kind of bummed out.
Mm-hmm.
So in the moment it hit, and I don't think I ever want to watch it again because in the moment I liked it, and even though I could see the clear shortcomings of the film,
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. But yeah, like that, what just kind of like what it just the Palpatine stuff, like that's come on.
Or
Like
just explain
one
it.
original idea.
Just
Just one.
explain it even
Set
though
it
like
up.
yeah.
Like set it up. Make us wonder. And like
Mm-hmm.
personally, like I wish like just defeat Palpatine next thing. There's other Sith Lords. It's the concept of the dark side, not the concept of Palpatine.
Exactly. It's a whole
And
galaxy.
and like let's just like it's just hard because like we set up these rules for this universe and I'm fine to expand the rules, but like just making no rules and making it make no sense, and it's just like what's something that would get people excited, but it you
Mm-hmm.
know because like you know the kids aren't going to be analyzing the narrative,
No, they're gonna
and
see
a lot of
Chewbacca and
kiddos
love
love
it.
it, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just dumb. It's just like they had so many opportunities to do the right thing there and they just
Mm-hmm.
kept doing the wrong thing, like in like the kiss back to life from like what the just what is that?
I
What
will say
is
though,
that?
this might be like a hot take.
Yeah.
Riding space like alien space horses on top of a star destroyer, that's pretty cool. I will say stuff
Yeah.
like that is like dope to me.
I feel like there were other parts of the movie that made it a good Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Like there were
Yeah.
like it felt like it did have some structure of a good Star Wars movie, but it was just like Lando was super creepy in it. Like can't we just accept like okay, Lando's probably chilled out by now. He's probably like has a lot less testosterone in his old age and isn't like hitting on young women.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was young, sexy Lando, yeah, of course I'd be going for it when Leia's there. Even though, yeah, well, you know, that was troubling. It was definitely
Yes.
troubling. But I mean, I think he certainly redeemed himself
Mm-hmm.
in Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the Skywalker saga, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just trouble. Like a game like Jedi. Did you ever play Jedi Outcast?
love Jedi Outcast.
Dude, like that had a better story. Like that whole play, like that makes sense to me. All of
Mhm.
that all made sense.
Yeah.
But-
Did you campers end up liking Star Wars though?
Yeah,
have
they
they
loved
seen
it.
have they seen it before?
I think most of them had seen it, and then I feel like feel like Zach maybe hadn't seen all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really remember.
Yeah, I'm always curious like what movies people are growing up with nowadays.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
My favorite Star Wars movie. All right. It's a bad take. I get a lot of flack for this one. People really don't like this movie, but I love it.
Uh-huh.
I love Solo.
Oh, interesting. I like Solo.
Because Solo feels like a little Star Wars adventure.
It does.
And it feels like it's not we're saving the universe every chance we can
Right.
get. We're just having fun in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
I'm in Star Wars for the fun little adventures.
Lower the stakes. Like,
Yes.
it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought Solo was good for the same reason. Like, they made it what it was, and it was just
Yeah.
a Star Wars adventure. That's it. I also really liked Rogue One.
See, I like the last half of Rogue One.
You didn't? Why not the first?
I think the underdeveloped characters kind of
Sure.
get on there because then they're like, oh, care about these characters and all this backstory and plot, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people's
Yeah.
names.
Right.
Like, I know Jin
Yeah.
Erso and I know Andor because of the show.
And you didn't know that before
No,
when it came out.
yeah, and I'm like, and I only knew the robot as Alan Tudyk robot.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't actually know the name of that one. The blind man with the force, that's the only name I can call him because I don't genuinely remember his name.
That felt like it could have been a cool trilogy series, which of course it couldn't. I mean, I guess they came up with a TV show, so.
Mm-hmm. But I was like, if you just like do that last half though, last half of the movie, insane in the membrane.
Yeah, they definitely tried to stick way too much exposition and setup in, which is hard to. I get that. Yeah, set up that many new characters for one movie.
So Rogue One's your favorite though?
No, no, I think it's good.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a good movie. I felt like it's like overtly anti-war, and that was like a clear theme in it, which I really appreciate too.
Yeah. Is yours Empire?
Yeah, of course, because I'm a snob.
No, Empire's out of like the main like numbered ones.
Yeah,
it's the best one.
It's the best one. It's so good. Yeah, but I really enjoy it. Yeah, the 3 originals are very good in my book.
Yeah,
you know, they haven't all aged the best.
They never will.
They never will. But yeah, and the prequels. Yeah, I mean, like I was so hot on them as a kid, so nostalgia value definitely, definitely is there. I also feel like they kind of, like in hindsight, they like. I feel like there's a lot, subtext to trying to explain where Lucas is explaining modern events.
I do appreciate George Lucas being like very anti-war and very anti-imperialism in all his writing.
Exactly, like like Star Wars comes out like right after Vietnam, and is like a movie about a rebellion against an empire. I mean, it probably went over a lot of people's heads in the moment.
You got Indiana Jones coming out, and he's just fighting literal Nazis.
Yeah.
And he's like making them look silly, and I'm like, yeah, that's good.
He's also, stealing artifacts from people.
Yeah.
There's that part of imperialism, but we're catching up there.
Yeah.
It belongs in a museum. Maybe it belongs with them, Dr. Jones.
Yeah,
I like to imagine what?
So the new one's coming out.
Yeah. I thought I enjoyed Crystal Skull. I do
too.
I'll probably go see that one in theaters.
Same.
I like to imagine that Indiana Jones is just Han Solo's fever dream in carbonite.
Well, isn't there like Star Wars references in?
So I was just the other day I was watching Temple of Doom, and one like do you remember the opening shootout in, I think they're in Nepal or something.
Yeah, where he meets Short Round in the.
Yeah, exactly. So he, when he's running out of the club, it's called the Club Obi-Wan.
Oh, is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can't believe I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either. All right, I think your theory is confirmed by that fact alone.
Yeah, and it's not my theory. People have been talking. Yeah, and I feel like, honestly, the prequels do predict a lot and lay it all out on the okay, so those are coming out. The first one, or Phantom Menace, came out in 99, I think, and then they wrapped up by 05. So it's like, it just talks about these wars that like at first, I'm like, Phantom Menace doesn't make any sense, right? But I think that's the point, that Phantom Menace doesn't make any sense, because it's the same way that the government justified the invasion of Iraq. They just came up with some shit that didn't make any sense, used some emotional manipulation, and then it was just really a major power grab for the government. And just a completely failed project.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense when you put it that way.
Yeah. So that's why, and then I feel like the sequels just make no goddamn sense, which maybe is the most appropriate thing right now.
In hindsight, I think so. But boy, oh boy, if they just like tweaked that dialogue to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
We would be in a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I'd love to watch. Like, there's some fan edits where they edit down all 3 prequels into one movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'd be good.
I was watching this one guy talk about the prequels, and he said he would just changed one thing.
What?
You don't really know about Palpatine being the evil, like, main evil space wizard. You make Darth Maul the main villain with a twist ending.
Right.
Because Darth Maul is a consistent evil throughout the whole series, and you're like, God, we got to get this one space Satan. We legit look like...
He was a good space Satan.
He looks so good, and
there would have been so much more emotion rather than switching baddies all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because then Obi-Wan would be like, if he was that would make so much sense too. If he was like, it would drive him mad to try and kill Darth Maul, who's such a good villain, super scary.
Mm-hmm.
And that would like distract him from maybe even focusing on Anakin too, and not noticing as many of his signs going over to the dark side because he's still dealing with that pain, which is kind of a little bit what's going on. But yeah, I'm with you there. I think killing him off was a mistake. And it's like, they brought him back in the Clone Wars. They brought him back because they had to. Again, where it's like, you know, I'm not going to hate too much in the Clone Wars. I didn't really watch them except for like the one animated series that came out.
The series, the Genndy Tartakovsky or the 3D animation one?
What was the first one?
Genndy Tartakovsky's.
Yeah, the Genndy Tartakovsky. I love that. I love
Genndy.
I'll probably watch that today, now that we mention it.
Well, have you watched any of his other work?
I mean, it's just some Samurai Jack.
Have you watched Primal?
No.
Oh, my Lord. So this was going to be an episode on Thomas Travels, but real quick, we need to talk about...
We've been talking about Star Wars. I don't understand how I could talk about myself without talking about Star Wars.
It's fair. But real quick, Primal. I'm going to shout out Primal. I'm going to plug Primal real quick.
Okay. Yeah, that looks rad.
The best silent storytelling I have ever seen in my life. It is about a caveman who becomes friends with a T-Rex, and they like roam the prehistoric world together.
That's
the
awesome.
Caveman can't talk, the T-Rex can't talk, but the emotions and intensity of all situations is so present, and it is fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really open to us mostly talking about movies.
I am too.
I feel like bonus movie episodes and spoiler cast, I feel like if we're putting so much work in on animal research, we deserve it.
Exactly. I mean, you're a documentarian.
How do I not talk about the movies?
Exactly. I just like watching movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ugh.
All right, cool.
All right. Yeah, watch Primal, watch Star Wars. Tell us what you think about Star Wars in the comments down below.
Yeah, tell us what you think about Star Wars. Anyway, yeah, like, I don't know how I feel about him coming out back as, like, Spider-Man with the legs. Like, they should have just kept him. It's, again, just expanding the world, and I don't know. Maybe I need to watch these movies before I pass so much judgment, or the show before I pass judgment.
Show's good. Yeah. Show's very good.
Did you like Robot Leg Darth Maul?
Yes.
Okay.
When they switch him over to not crazy Spider-Man, and he's just like angry with his brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him and Savage Opress, which of all the names you could pick, Savage Opress. It's like, all right, how evil can we be?
Yeah, I guess, I just feel like Star Wars, like, I don't like to see them rely on bringing people back. More so with the Palpatine thing, probably.
See, my least favorite of that was Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. But wasn't it, didn't it take place before the, he died in the sequels? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, no, I liked the first season of The Mandalorian. Yeah. There was just a bunch of new people doing awesome new things. And then it was just like, oh, and here's Luke Skywalker. Look, guys, it's Luke Skywalker. I'm like... Yeah. Or there's just like, what if there's like a random cool Jedi that like we've never met before? Right.
Yeah. Like, instead of relying on CG to bring back a character, like, just develop a new cool character. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm with you. Just let them go. Them go. It's okay.
There's plenty of cool actors out there who would do cool Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
So... Yeah.
Yeah, the Mandalorian just like it's just got this Power Ranger vibes to it. That's just like, just kind of, which I mean, I guess is appealing. And again, it is a kids show, but it's just like you feel it. You feel
Yeah.
it.
Speaking of Power Rangers, are you excited for the new Power Rangers, where they're just doing the old one?
Is that I don't know. It's not even on my radar.
It is. I was a big Power Rangers fan as a child.
I see that.
Yeah. Dinosaurs, robots, come on, it's all there.
Yeah.
No, they're bringing back all the original stuff.
Oh yeah.
From the OG Mighty Morphin Power
Whoa.
Rangers.
Including the characters, or do they have new actors?
Nope, same cast.
Wow. Didn't one of them die?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, blue Power Ranger, right?
Green.
Green. Damn.
Yeah, Green. Unfortunately, took his own life.
That's so sad. Oh.
But
is he coming back as a different actor?
Nope.
That's tasteful.
Yeah, no, and I think this one's like more for adults because in the trailer I watched, they had a character die.
That's cool.
Like a Power Ranger just get killed. I'm like, I didn't think you could do that for the Power Rangers, but all right, here we are.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson, is she in it? Oh, is she a Power Ranger OG?
Is Scarlett Johansson a Power Ranger OG? I do not know.
Oh my gosh, I'm totally looking at this trailer.
Yeah.
That.
Comment down below what your favorite Power Ranger was.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to drive up our engagement.
There is a green Power Ranger.
Oh, they must have just like traded the mantle or something. I hope.
Yeah. Maybe, we can go from Star Wars back to Idaho, I reckon.
I think there's correlation.
Yeah, so Idaho, that was fun. It did get cut a little short when Nate had his arm dislocation, so we had to get out of the Sawtooth earlier than expected. And then from there we just made our way back. We went through South Dakota. We went to the Badlands, which are really cool. Have you ever seen the movie Badlands?
I have not.
It's good.
Okay.
It's a fun time.
Alright.
Time. Martin Sheen, Sissy something. I forget her name, but her first name's Sissy. It's basically Martin Sheen's like in his mid-20s and Sissy's like 16.
Okay.
He quit in the beginning. He quits his job as a garbage man, and then he starts hitting on Sissy all the time, and then they start dating. And then her dad catches wind of it, and he's very, very upset and forbids them from seeing each other. So I don't think there's too much of a spoiler, but naturally Martin Sheen murders her dad, and then they're two outlaws on the run. And,
naturally,
they end up in the Badlands. Super good. Yeah. And South Dakota was about it. Then we made our way back, and then that was like back to Bemidji, Minnesota, and then that was the end of Camp Thunderbird. And from there, then I took a little solo trip down over to Colorado, where I kind of went to the Maroon Bells area.
Okay.
We did a solid attempt at a 14er, but the route we took was too hard.
That's fair.
It got scary.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, I'll give you credit. As a person who was born in Colorado, lived in Colorado for 18 years of his life, I've never even attempted to do a 14er.
We're doing a 14er.
I was like, I know that's blasphemy for all my Colorado audience.
But we're doing it.
We're doing it.
Go back and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I have to. I also did this mountain Sopris in where is that? Carbondale.
Mm-hmm.
You know Carbondale?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my buddy Joe did Sopris, and you're supposed to take a rock from the bottom and leave it at the top, because apparently there's a massacre of Native Americans there, and the spirits haunt you unless you do that.
Okay.
I don't know if that really justifies or remedies the whole situation, but it is tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely on the way out, it was like late, and there's a lot of weird shadowy figures moving around.
Huh.
But I forgot to put the rock at the top, so now it's still in my truck, and I named my truck after the mountain Sopris.
That's good.
So, yeah, if you want to head over there sometime, I do need to knock that out.
Yeah, no, we can definitely get that done.
Yeah, that one's I think a 13er. It's like 1290 or something. So that'd be a good warm up one.
Mm-hmm.
Head into the Maroon Bells, and we'll
knock
cross
it
it off the list. Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Very good. Then I started making my way towards Reno to stay with my friends that I met through the whole rattlesnake situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I passed through Arizona, which was cool. I passed through the Hopi tribe, the Hopi Reserve. That was cool. I had read up about them. There's a lot of literature and end of the world predictions and end of the world preventing predictions that I really dig.
Didn't you make a movie on?
Right. So the Hopi are, they're kind of like, although we don't like go into it, that's kind of like in my most recent film, Searching for Avalon. That's what's inspired the main character Sully a lot in his theories. And although we mostly focus on Sully and how he takes care of the land, the true credit of that is to Native people. A lot of that credit goes to Native people and to the Hopi tribe for his beliefs. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was cool. It was like definitely a very cool feeling meeting people from there. And it just made sense. It was a lot of fun to go. Yeah, I just went there. They had a market, just like an open market outside the cultural center. So just bought a bunch of stuff and chatted people up for a while.
That's awesome.
Picked up a hitchhiker. Yeah, good times.
Nice. I've never picked up a hitchhiker before.
Picked up a few. That was my first.
I've hitchhiked a couple times, but...
Yeah, because I was driving through the reservation. I was about to leave. Because I was like, there's nothing really to do here. And I mean, what am I going to do? Then I saw this hitchhiker. I'm like, there's something to do. So I drove him over to court, and then that put me right near the cultural centers. So
Perfect.
Yeah. Then I picked up There's a lot of hitchhiking out here in Tahoe. So sometimes I pick people up, especially if a storm's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are waiting for the bus, and it takes a while. So Arizona, then, just drove through Nevada, went to Vegas for a night. That turned out to be very strange. I honestly, I spent most of the night just hanging out with this homeless man named Joey. And just chit-chatting. I didn't do any gambling. Just kind of took it all in.
Seems like a strange place.
Yeah, I wasn't really in the mood.
Yeah.
I was like, it was so weird because, I was 100% living out of my car.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just going to a hotel, there was required valet. It was just like, I gotta leave my car. It was so strange. And then I stayed up near Death Valley for a couple days, and that was really fun. I found a fun bar with rowdy people who wanted to talk about local government problems.
Okay.
Just had a lot of fun with that, and hung out with this donkey a lot. I was walking around. Weird times on the road. Then I made it up to Reno and stayed there for a couple weeks, and then I got a job on a movie in Shreveport, Louisiana for 6 weeks, and I was a PA on that. That wasn't fun. I mean, it was cool. I met some fun people, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, film sets are really annoying.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah, especially if you're on the low end of things.
Mm.
'Cause then you're paid the least, so they make you work the most for the budget.
That stinks.
And there's it's just it definitely varies. I've done a lot of commercial PA work, which is so easy. Cakewalk.
Okay. Is that commercial as in just advertisements?
Commercials are hey, this business needs an internal training video. Come. So, I've worked on a lot of that. I've worked on those as PAs, and those, because those days you make more money, the days are shorter, and everybody's just we're here to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
There you have to deal with people's fucking passion, and you just but you're in a position where you're so checked out of their passion because you've been there. It's they pull 17-hour days and stuff, and it's too much.
That's
too
a lot.
Much. Yeah, and they take away weekends, and it's just guys, it's just a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But still ain't come out yet. Still waiting on that.
You allowed to say what movie it was, or?
Yeah, it's The Vanishing on Caddo Lake.
Okay.
I don't know if it's actually going to be called that, but that's what they were calling it then.
Mm-hmm.
Should be interesting. M. Night Shyamalan was a producer on it. He was there a little bit. Yeah. And that was a time. But Louisiana is a weird place. Interesting place for sure. Do like the South.
Always wanted to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go back through the South. But so I did that, then flew back to Nevada because I flew over to Shreveport because they're like, yeah, you can have the job, but you got to get here right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I drove home quickly. That was in like December of 2021.
Okay.
And I bought my truck Sopris and sold off Jenna the Jetta.
Mm.
And then I was like going to take a New England road trip, but then I was so tired. And so I got an Airbnb in Vermont. I just became like super tight friends with the homeowner, and then she just kept renting me a room there.
That's nice.
So nice. So that was a good place to rest and recover. And then eventually I was like, well, I think I just want to head back west and do some stuff. So then I figured like Reno. Then I started doing some work at a resort, and then I was like, oh, Tahoe's cool.
Yeah.
Can be in the mountains.
Well, that's where during that road trip, I'm assuming that's when this podcast started kind of coming to fruition.
I would say, yeah, for sure. That was like, I've kind of like tried to start podcasts like a few times, but definitely had like the homies not nearly as into it.
Okay.
Yeah, just nothing really stuck. And it's like, you want to be careful starting a podcast because like we've always said, like every white man in their 20s does it.
It's our natural calling. It's either that, World War II history, or getting way too into grilling.
Yeah, exactly. So, we went the podcast route, but I think we're doing the right work.
I think we're doing the Lord's work.
As long as we're not like, we're not in the hyper masculinity world of Joe Rogan, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, no,
it's a very good thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that honestly, and when I heard the Tooth and Claw podcast, I was just blown away, and I was like, I think it's time.
See, and I've always liked the idea. I've loved podcasts and the idea of doing one was always so fun and stuff. And yeah, when you approached me after, because we had just grabbed a coffee real quick, we saw each other for about an hour. That was about it.
That was so funny.
I know, because I sat there and I was like, you text me and you're like, hey, I'm staying out near Laramie, just camping. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, I'm going to drive through Laramie. Let's grab coffee. I was like, sure, when? He's like, 7 a.m. I'm like, sure, work doesn't start till 8, so I'll meet you when the shop opens.
You told me when work started. I was like, oh, I have to get up so friggin' early. But I think it's important.
Yeah, we sat there. We went to my favorite coffee shop in Laramie, so it's a good one.
And talked about wild horses and invasive species, and I was like, we had such a spark.
We did. And you were talking about your movie. You were talking about the Searching for Avalon, like working on that and stuff. So I was like super interested in that because filmmaking is super cool to me. I think it's like a really rad thing.
Yeah, it rocks.
Yeah, so we linked up on that trip and got this podcast started.
Then hell yeah.
So then you started making your way to Tahoe.
Yeah. Now
what brought you to? Yeah. So you were originally going to work in Reno, was the idea?
I was like, because it's just like, okay, who do I? It felt important to know some people around where I was living. Mm-hmm. And since I knew people in Reno, I was thinking Reno, but then just kind of ended up in Tahoe because it's an hour away. Mm-hmm. And like I'd rented an Airbnb in Reno, and then I was working in Tahoe, and I just never even went back to the Airbnb except to like get my stuff.
Okay.
It's like, life pro tip: getting a month-long Airbnb a couple months in advance is pretty cheap.
Okay.
Usually
did not know that.
A discount. Yeah. So it just kind of felt like Tahoe was going to be the spot. Tahoe's cool. I don't know if I like skiing enough. Working on it. But enjoying Tahoe. So I'm here until June, and then still kind of unknown where I'm going. Maybe by the time this comes out, I will actually probably have already moved.
Oh, really?
Let's think. 3? No, probably not.
It's exciting though.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Feels like you're on like the cusp of something.
It does. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out what the move is.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out, so.
So it seems like a lot of your travels have been like in the U.S. and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone abroad?
Yeah, I went to Germany when I was 16. A little
Okay.
German exchange program. That was pretty fun.
Oh, that's cool. You're an
Yeah.
exchange student?
Yeah, just for 3 weeks though.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah. Then I went back there when I was like 22, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, and went to Italy. That was cool. Yeah, I like Europe, but right now exploring the U.S. is just super fun, and I think mountains are kind of the thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And also driving around to mountains is cool.
Mm-hmm.
All very accessible here in the U.S. But I'd love to go back to Europe. Berlin's such a fun city. But I like we were talking about before. I now live with all this like oil guilt. I think,
Mhm.
and it's only gotten worse since I've been like kind of studying, like the Iraq War
Mm-hmm.
and other conflicts, and it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, there's such a huge power struggle over oil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a weird thing to like use for fun,
It really is.
And it's just, yeah, we're in so deep.
It really are.
Yeah.
And it's like, hopefully the alternatives start becoming more prevalent, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't seem like anyone wants to.
Yeah, and like yeah, exactly. And I'm curious, like, how sustainable are our alternatives at this point? Like, how sustainable is lithium?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the process for getting lithium? Like, how much oil does it even require to get the lithium?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because, terrible people are running the show. Greedy
Yeah.
capitalists.
That's what it is. It's a lot of greed.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like honeybees really know what's up. That when it's time to, when the queen has, had her reign, they all hug her and start vibrating until she overheats and dies.
Really?
And
They
have
do
a new
that?
queen, yeah.
Okay. I knew they did that for intruders, like when like a wasp or someone
Well,
tries
yeah,
to
exactly.
jump in.
No, but
But
they'll kill their queen after a time. Like
oh,
maybe she's out of her prime.
huh.
They'll kill their queen and start a new one.
Okay. So we just got to go violently hug the greedy
The
people.
bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's so hard. They really got the whole weapons advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So violent uprisings probably aren't going to work.
Nah, probably not.
No, I guess we'll just have to change our hearts and minds or something.
Mm-hmm. Grassroot it,
Yeah.
Yeah. The fun stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff. So yeah, that's where I've been. Now, yeah, we'll see what I do. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like as we go along with this podcast and the more we do it, people are just
Yeah.
they're gonna grow with us and they're
I
gonna be
think
on
so.
our journey. And I think I'm
love
excited for
that.
people to be with us. I think they're excited to be with us as well.
I mean, we're wonderful people.
I
so
like to think so.
I like to think so. Yeah. All right. Well, that's my migration pattern and a lot of Star Wars talk.
Yeah. I feel like Tom's Travels doesn't work without a healthy dose of Star Wars.
No, it really doesn't. There's something to be learned there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to our first bonus episode. We will keep these coming to hold you over while we're getting season 2 ready.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, God bless. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys listening and your support.